Hello and welcome to a Sunday showing, Shane. A Sunday showing of the double pivot. I'm Kieran, joined by Shane, FPL Discomfort and FPL Veteran, to get an early one out because we're both going to be busy. There's a deadline on Tuesday, and I'll be honest, emotions are high between the two of us. We've been disagreeing a lot on WhatsApp, and I imagine that's going to continue throughout the show today. So lock yourself in for a pretty fiery one, I think. Anyone who's not watched before, we quite often disagree. So nothing new there. But Shane, good to see you, mate. How are you? How's your weekend been?
Yeah, good, mate. Good. For those that are just joining for the first time on the pod, like, we don't fight all the time, just most of the time. Kind of like a marriage. You know what I mean? No, it's been a good weekend, mate. Went to IKEA for breakfast. Never a bad thing, IKEA for breakfast. I really should have done a 10K like you. Well done on the 10K. You know, I've seen that 10K, mate. It was fast. It was very fast.
My thigh is buggered. It was during it. Sorry, an image has just popped up saying there's an issue with your file. Just want to check. No, there's not.
It was good, mate. It was good. Like you were saying, we were arguing. We've been arguing, mate, mainly about because Arsenal are going to win the title, and you don't want to say it yet in case there's a hoodoo. I've said it now, so it's like the boogeyman.
One of us said that City was going to win today when we were having our messages back and forth yesterday. The other one, no, they're shit. No, everything about them this year is shit.
What was that? Oh, you're talking to FPL Nightmare, are you? Who's that? Was that contract?
It's even worse today than it ever is. But
it's good.
City finish the season strong. They always do.
Yeah.
You can never write them off. Not when they've got the top goal scorer in the league, arguably still the best striker in the league. They've signed Semenyo, who one of the best wingers in the league, better than any winger Arsenal have, and they've signed Mark Guehi, and him alongside Diaz. That's a centre-back pairing not to be sniffed at. And they've signed.
Come on. This is the Arsenal coffer. A centre-back pairing of Guehi and Dun Diaz. Arsenal got the title. I'm not an Arsenal fan, clearly, but I wouldn't be worried. A defence is what really wins you the title.
Well, it makes me laugh. I don't know if you saw it, Shane. All of the reactions after the game, it's only 6 points now. It was 6 points before the weekend. City are close to Arsenal. They're technically further away because they went into the weekend with a 3-goal difference, and there's now a 5-goal difference. So
what are you worried for? What are you worried for?
I don't know. Look, my opinion always is, and I was in a few group chats earlier with them saying, Arsenal fans want Liverpool to win. I'm like, no, I just want Arsenal to win their games. You don't need to rely on another team to mess up. You just need to do what your team needs to do. And if Arsenal do what they need to do,
I like that.
Oh, we both paused there.
I like that, mate.
The title's still there for Arsenal to win at the Etihad, right? It's still on paper mathematically possible to win it at the Etihad. I don't think we will, but it's possible.
I'd love it, mate. I'd love it. It'd be good. But listen, tonight we've got a fantastic show lined up. And listen, our ranks, namely your rank, but that's what the public are here for, is Kieran's rank. But yeah, we're doing well this season, touch wood. I'd say it makes a difference, but we put some knowledge out there. But yeah, we've got a good show lined up. We're going to talk matchups for game week 26. We're going to talk VAR. Is it good? Is it bad? Should we get rid of it? Should we keep it? Again, me and Kieran have disagreed on that. We're going to talk our bus teams for game week 26, our scores for 25, and then a discomfort zone, veterans vision, and then as all predictions. So welcome everyone who's joined. We've got loads on a Sunday night as well, Kieran. Who's in the chat? We've got Foxy, we've got Zeitgul, we've got Andrew, we've got Colm, we've got Geddy, ATL Spurs, OG, by the way, OG of FPL's in the chat. Good to see you. Kieran. 25
Cam, who I'm a bet. It is a bet. I've got obviously a good track record with bets with Az, so I thought I'd branch out after being 0 for 2 against Az. Maybe 0 for 3 soon. We'll find out. With one with Cam in a WhatsApp group chat. That one is: will Ahmad get 3 attacking returns before game week 31?
Now, look, yeah.
No, I said no, not a chance. Like, he's got none when United have scored 10 goals in the last 4 games. Like, it's a different season. They've got Cunha now, they've got Mbumo now, they've got Sesko now. I think goal spread's too wide. But look, what Cameron doesn't realise is the sicko in me does 25 burpees every day anyway these days. So not much of a loss here for me. I'll be saying how great he is while I'm doing them. Who else do we have in here? We've got DM.
That's it. Right, let's get started. Let's get into the show. Here we go.
Jackie, Ryan, Faye. God, this is a busy one, isn't it? Right, yeah, you're right. Let's get into it. How are we kicking it off? Kicking it off with your team because there's a nice green arrow there, Shane. Tell us about your green arrow.
I mean, I'm getting used to green arrows, which, is that a thing? Do you get used to green arrows? I mean, you more than me, but yeah, it went well, mate. It went well. Could have been a little bit better. Ducky's in the chat. Good to see you, big man. As always, as an FPL manager, could always go better, but it was pretty good. I think the overwhelming mistake you can see on the screen there really is Collins. I should have taken a -4 for Timber, but with Timber, maybe, I mean, probably load management, but I was a bit unsure. I want to take a little bit risk on an Arsenal attacker. It looked like Collins was going to play because all they had was stitches, so that's why he got left out last week. He came on as a sub. I really should have took the -4 because I would have essentially got a free transfer. But apart from that, it wasn't bad, mate. Gabriel got the solid 6. Chalobah was a letdown with 4. All right, he got DEFCON, but conceding against Wolves now is poor. And the Chelsea defence, they're liable to that. They play so high up, which is a bit unfortunate, especially when they're 3-0 up. You shouldn't really be conceding a goal. Elsewhere, listen, midfield. Midfield is where it's at, mate. Rodgers with 10. I think he's blanked for 5 games in a row. Came up with that. Fernandes, by the way.
11 DEFCON for Rodgers, Shane. 11. So not quite the 12. Missed out on the extra 2 points there. But suddenly he's starting to get there or thereabouts, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's everything that is good through Villa is really gone through him. And if they score, it's probably, like when you look at a goals flashed up, you probably Rodgers is involved. You know what I mean? Anderson, listen, I brought him in last week and he does what he does. People this week have gone on about Anderson, DEFCON, and he got 7 points in bonus last week. This week, Kieran, Caicedo got no attacking returns and he got 2 bonus points. I don't hear anyone chatting about that. And listen, that's the game. Unfortunately, that's the game. It's we have to be adaptable. And he's done well. Rice, mate, he had a few chances, didn't he, Rice? I thought that long shot was going in, mate. He was really involved, so he was unlucky to get 5. João Pedro, terrible XG. Like, it was like 0.01 or something like that. Sorry, 0.1. But 2 pens, mate.
If the Wolves players just start throwing you around when you're running away from goal, then nice way to spam points. Exactly. And then that luck for your other. I still can't believe you got a YouTuber in your team, but the amount of luck for you to get points off of him, outrageous. Nothing again all game. Complete passenger.
He was
nods his head on for an assist. Like, I'm sitting there going, 2 points. That's a shame for Haaland. And then bang, assist, bang, penalty. Which it's a penalty. Let's be clear, it is a penalty. But I would argue this season we've seen more of those not given than given in those situations. It's one where I don't think VAR overrules. If the ref doesn't give it, that's not a penalty. It's an on-field decision. And, I was surprised that it went for an away team at Anfield. But maybe the ref doesn't want Arsenal to win the league as well. Who knows?
Oh, yes. It's against them. It's against them. Yeah, no, you're right, mate. He was a passenger in the game. Okay, that's what... Haaland is a world-class player and he can do that at any point. But he was fortunate. So anyone who didn't like yourself, who didn't have him, it was extremely unlucky. On the VR and pens, I'll leave that for the veterans' vision because we discussed quite at length and we disagreed at length as well. So that'll come up. So do stay tuned for that because some people are for it and some people are against. Kieran, and we will chat about that. But yeah, I mean, it was a half-decent week, mate. The only kind of mistake, and we make them all the time, mate, is really I should have taken a minus for Timber. I'm at the point now, Kieran, where I'm starting to look at my mini league because it's maybe for, not that I condone gambling, but a little bit of money. But I just try and keep it fresh because I think if you start bringing players in to do you know what I mean, back yourself and cover yourself, you start ruining the game. So as much as I can, I just want to choose players that I think are going to do the best. Although bringing Timber in would have covered me a little bit. However, there was 2 people in my league that captained Cole Palmer. So when people are captaining Cole Palmer, mate, it's a little bit difficult. So I've dropped from first to second. But no, it was good, mate. It was good. I can't complain. Another green arrow, up to 60 odd K, mate. Is that updated or was that last one? That was the last one, wasn't it? Or is that a new one?
No, that's updated, mate.
Where is it?
It's interesting, right? At this stage, when they're still being updated, live FPL is slightly different to FPL Game Week, which is slightly different to the FPL app. All give or take, but you'll be within a couple of hundred of that. So I thought I'd go with the lowest one for you, mate.
So it was good, mate. It was good. I was happy with it, mate. I was happy. What's your thoughts? Good team. I think it's the right team. It's good. All these goals assists in there. Defense is becoming a bit of an issue, but
yeah, but we're at this sort of awkward stage where you're going to probably want Collins because Brentford fixtures are changing.
Exactly.
Chalobah, he's picking up DEFCON. If he gets that clean sheet, you're laughing, right? And they'll get one eventually. They've still got 2 good fixtures coming up. Van der Ven, again, might as well hold on to him for a little bit more. Mukiele, I know a lot of people have moved him on, which we'll see.
Van der Ven's gone.
A smart decision or not.
Van der Ven's gone, man.
Van der Ven. Oh, well, look, we'll come on to that when we come on to your team, but let's jump on to my beautiful red arrow of 99%. Look, it was all going so right, but we'll run through it. Double Everton defence letting me down once again. There is a lot of thought about how I get off of that, but I'd rather chase points than worry about the flaws of the defenders at the moment. My bench is still absolutely horrific there with flags galore, but I'm absolutely fine with that because I'd rather focus transfers on the 11 and sort of have one bench player who might do something. So Gabriel 6, Chalobah 4, Taco 2, Enzo with 2. Could have got more. High XG in that game. Had Rodgers like you did, had Rice like you did. Wirtz could have got something today. Ekitike should have got something today. That header, how he missed that, I have no idea whatsoever. Bruno Fernandes, like you, I had him. And again, I think he probably points dodged a little bit despite getting that 10 points. And the man that is Kai Havertz, in the opening minute of the game, had Arsenal's second highest XG chance and just missed. And later on in the game, he got the ball from Raya. He ran the length of the pitch and he pinged it inches wide. And Shane, that I was earlier in the week going Haaland to Gyökeres. And then I wavered and I went for Kai. And, this is one of our disagreements. Shane thinks Gyökeres is shit because Shane doesn't see what Gyökeres does for the rest of the team. My key view on Gyökeres is he occupies defenders, he pulls them away, he creates space for other players, and he's good against shocking teams. This is now 8 goals in his last 8 games in all competitions. Now, people might say, look at who he's played. That was my point. Look at where his goals come from against teams that are shocking. And him coming off the bench when a game's going to be even more open wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world, as we saw with 2 goals and a bunch of bonus. Now, thankfully, one of those goals was an assist by Kai. So I got a return from him. But Kai's not in for 1 week. Kai's in for 2 weeks. So, it's all about next week for me. And then, look, a bench of Van der Ven with his 1-pointer and no one else that actually plays football right now. So, yeah, look, it hurt. If Haaland has got his 2 points, then you're looking at me getting 250% more points than Haaland with that transfer. But instead, I lost out. But I lost out on 6 points. And I can kind of live with that for now. Don't know if you knew this, Shane, but the Steny Full Cup game is heading to extra time.
I am. So we're waiting. As a Dunfermline fan, we're waiting for we got through the next round, so we're in the quarterfinals, and the last game is Stenhousemuir v Falkirk, and after that is the draw.
And if anyone's wondering why Shane thinks Gyökeres is a bad footballer and has some bad football opinions, it's because he supports Dunfermline, so he doesn't really watch football.
Well, I mean, we'll take him on loan. I can't guarantee his minutes, but we'll take him on loan. No, I think
right. To my point, right? People will say someone like Thiago's better than Gyökeres, etc., etc. They wouldn't be. You don't get chances as a striker when you're playing for Arsenal, not with the way teams are setting up against them these ways. One thing I would add, though, I don't know if you realise it, and they asked Mikel Arteta after the game, they said, 3 goals scored, all from open play. Do you know what Arteta said?
What?
Yeah, I know. I'm annoyed we didn't get one from a set piece as well. But good to see he's got a good sense of humour. And again, City scored 2 goals today.
Yeah.
Both were from set pieces, if I'm not mistaken, Shane. Both
Set
from
piece FC, mate. It's a disgrace. You want to hear people talking about Man City set piece FC, will you? We were talking, and actually, before we move on, at the weekend, as a general Premier League fan, I've got no affiliation to Arsenal, United, or City. I do genuinely think Arsenal get a bad rep. I honestly do, because it's like, oh, this season City and Liverpool haven't been onto it. Like, what are you on about? Arsenal are absolutely solid. They've got probably the best team in Europe right now. And people are like, oh yeah, but City didn't play that well. Liverpool didn't play well. They should have played better then, shouldn't they? But I do see the perception quite often through maybe TalkSport or other outlets is a bit different depending on the team, and especially at Arsenal. They always see the downside from it. So I did back you up on that one.
We do have a lot of unbearable fans these days. We have a lot of them, and I can empathise with people from that perspective.
I get it.
But surely people don't want, surely people want to see a team different winning the league? Surely.
I do, mate. And Arteta's been, what, second twice? Twice or 3 times? Twice?
Yeah.
And he's built the team, mate, and it's now coming to fruition. And like you're saying, we were talking about this months ago, and I was like, that's the only team that I still see playing as champs. And the same was today, mate. It really is. But in terms of your team, mate, obviously, I mean, your rank, like everyone's saying in the chat, is absolutely fantastic. Obviously, we only want the numbers to go down, don't we? And what were you sitting, like 1,400 in that? So obviously it hurt a little bit, but the rank's still fantastic. And yeah, every week you can't have an amazing week, can you? I still think you got the Havertz Gyökeres right, because if you said to me that Gyökeres scored 2 goals, I'd be very surprised. If he comes off the bench and scores 2 goals, I'm even more surprised. So I like it. I think Havertz will get more minutes. No, you don't think Havertz will get more minutes?
Yeah, definitely think Havertz gets more minutes, but it wasn't necessarily coming down to that for me. It is the fact that, like, Sunderland, Brentford, Wolves. Look, I've said it in earlier ones, right? There have been, I don't know what percentage will be now, but when I checked last time, it was like 33% of goals this season have been scored by substitutes, which makes sense because of game state, and particularly for a team like Arsenal, who are going to often face teams that are sitting very low with very deep blocks, and therefore it's harder to open them up. Whereas if you're a goal up and you come up against them, you bring a sub on, he's got a great chance because it'll be an open game. That said, one thing I will mention, and let's move on to the score, Shane, but cracking performance by Sunderland. Like, Sunderland are a real football team. They didn't sit back against Arsenal, not as much as Liverpool and City have done recently. They actually went for it. And I think that's a smart tactic. I think that is a smart one. Unlike, let's say, Chelsea, who dominated Arsenal for 45 minutes by having no shots in the League Cup. Dominated Arsenal. Dominated them, but didn't create anything. Anyway, let's go on to scores. Because we'll keep this moving, because Super Bowl's on today, Shane, and I want to be watching the Super Bowl. I want to be getting a couple of beers in me.
Well, we can, and maybe there's a few already in the chat. FPL Slacker says he's sub now, fam. Thank you very much. If you're watching, you're listening, or watching back, please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Someone else in the chat got 93 points. There it is. Oisan got 93 points. Well done, mate. Well done. In terms of points, what did we get on the score?
In one of my games, by the way, in one of my group chats, everyone was posting their green arrows. And when you've had a red arrow, it's painful, right? And in the words, I don't know if you saw this, but did you see after the game when the cameraman went over to Haaland and Guehi ran off, and it's still following Haaland? He goes, "Why are you following me? Follow Guehi. Follow him." Then he literally said down the camera, told the camera to F off.
It's Haaland. He does. Oh my god, he does what he wants. Do you know what? Just quickly, like last week, I said, take this rule away that we're carding goal scorers and they take their shirt off. Take the rule away. Football is bloody passionate.
Let's all
it's a joke. If you've got some kind of insignia or something, I kind of get that, but you're just taking your shirt off. I mean, it's getting ridiculous, man. It is.
But why are you? If you're Man City, a team that are serial winners, why are you celebrating like that in a game of football? Like, you've not won anything, lads. This isn't a game where you've won a trophy. This is a game where you've stayed 6 points behind Arsenal and got further behind on goal difference. The way they were celebrating at the end of the game, Shane, I'm telling you, if Arsenal had done that, If Arsenal had done that, TalkSport
Good
today
point.
would be going off.
But I do think they had to win that. The pressure was on. If they did not win that game today, the title is done, in my opinion. So it was big. I still don't think it is. But let's talk about the points, mate. How did we do in predictions? Because I was like 1 goal away from so many games, which was frustrating. How did you get?
Yeah, look, let's just go through it. Leeds. I think we've got to start appreciating Leeds at home.
Yeah,
particularly in the evening games, are a team we should not be underestimating. I thought it'd be a 1-1 draw because I think Forest defence has improved recently. You thought Forest would win 1-0. I didn't see Leeds scoring 3. Did not see that happening.
No, I will say Forest. Look, we're out Morello at the back as well. They're all over the shop. They're a nightmare. I've heard rumblings that he wants to change Sean Dice as well. I've heard this. I don't know if you have. So, yeah, I might have to change my tack on Forest. But yeah, Leeds, listen, if you're going to stay up, you need a strong home form, and Leeds are doing it so far. So, listen, well done to them. It keeps the talk of Dominic Calvert-Lewin going to the World Cup, and that's fine. As a Scotland fan, you take him. Please take him. Yeah, the early kickoff, mate. Bruno stopped the hoodoo of the early captaincy kickoff. 2-0 Spurs. I mean, the game kind of changed when Romero got sent off. I mean, Kieran, what? Last week he was gobbing off about the owners. This week, I mean, that was just stupid. Last week he didn't come back. Remember, he came off at halftime. I genuinely think because he didn't really fancy it. And this week, straight red, 3-game ban now. It'll be a 4-game ban, I think, isn't it? Because it's 2nd
4-game ban, yeah.
So now he's left.
Did you see Thomas Frank's interview?
I did, and I like Thomas Frank, mate, but I think he has to be a little bit more strong with some of the players. And Romero's one of them, mate. I feel bad for him because he's played. I think he's a good manager, mate. He just gets let down by so many players, and he's got so many injuries as well. But what's your thoughts on the Spurs United game? I mean, Romero, what an idiot, mate.
So the above average boys were saying it, right? Like, Romero should not be captain for them.
They have been saying
it. The guy has no leadership. Like, he's got no leadership qualities whatsoever, and he demonstrated it once again. His defensive skills see him quite often out of position. He is reckless. He is dirty. He's decent at attacking. But that's not what you want for your captain and centre-back. And I genuinely think once Spurs replace him, they will have a captain who knows how to captain, and they'll have a defender who knows how to defend. Like, he's a joke of a player. It is embarrassing that he is continuing to behave like this.
Do you think he's pushing for a move?
I don't think he's pushing for a move, but I think Spurs are keen to get rid of him. And look, with United were good. I think we're seeing now the value of the players that they've signed, and they're looking decent. They have one more ham to go for United stand to get his haircut, because that is Fulham, Tottenham, and now West Ham to go.
I hope he gets his haircut. Actually, genuinely, it'll have to be like, should we get like Alex Ferguson, shave his head or something like that?
Well, you've got to think, like, United will make a massive social media thing about it, right? And they will get someone in, it'll be a YouTube video. What kind of a football club does a YouTube video about a fan getting his haircut?
I know, right? You'd never catch Arsenal doing that, would you? Oh, just in case you're not seeing it, if you're new to the channel, Kieran got his haircut by Saka before, but I need to clip that and put that up, actually. But no, United, another win, look strong at home, look like they score a lot of goals. By the way, Bruno, I'm not his biggest fan, but what a finish on the goal, by the way. It's come off his shin, man, and he's meant it. What a goal. He's insane. He is insane. On an Arsenal game, mate, I agree with you. Listen, Sunderland played well. Do you not think 3-0 was a tough reflection on the actual game? I thought 3-0 was a harsh scoreline, mate.
I think it was a scoreline that a very smart person would predict.
All right.
But look,
I always do that.
I think as soon as it was 1-0, it was highly likely to be 2 or 3. I don't think the scoreline really... I agree with you. I think they did enough to lose 1-0 or 2-0. They put in a good showing. They did nothing to really create anything, right? Again, it was another team with like 0.17 XG, because you're going to need something special or a mistake to beat Arsenal, unless you have true world beaters. I think especially with Manchester out, it's a big loss for them. I think in that game makes it even tougher for Arsenal. And I think they did a great job. They defended really well. They had bodies in the box to block shots. But at the same time, like you said, Rice was a whisker away. Havertz was a whisker away. Havertz was 2 whiskers away with his 2 chances. If either of those go in, I think Sunderland could have been looking at like a 4 or 5-0 defeat. Because if Arsenal get a goal in that first sort of 15, 20 minutes, you're in trouble. So I think they did well. But it was a case of, particularly the third goal, right? Like I think 2-0 and then Sunderland were pushing forward and we've seen it again. Martinelli on the break, the pace he has when he's come off the bench, and he's probably starting the next game because I think it would be silly to risk Trossard getting subbed off with precautionary injury, but it'd be silly to sub him off when you know you've got Martinelli just sitting there.
Yeah, I know. Can you, if you got anything on your computer, Kieran, just close it. You're a little bit laggy, mate. That's all. Yeah, listen, Arsenal, they just roll on, don't they? They just roll on, another win. I thought it'd be a lot closer. Sunderland played well, but without that Jack in the middle, I think just to settle things and a little bit of experience, it hurt them a little bit. But listen, they'll do well. They're just a bit unpredictable away, which is weird because they are such a really, really good team. Elsewhere, Bournemouth, Villa. Yeah, it was a close game. It was a decent game to watch. Don't think it's much to say on that. West Ham. Listen, that's it for Burnley, isn't it, Kieran? That's it for Burnley. They're down. And kind of like a bit like Wolves, mate. I think we need to start attacking these teams, Burnley and Wolves, because they know they're down now. That's them done. The heads are going to start going down. I already seen it last week with Wolves. They weren't really tracking back. They weren't really running back. So I think we really, really have to attack them, though.
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to check. There's nothing open on my computer, so I'm trying to see what could be slowing it down.
Okay, that's a bit faster there. Yeah, I think everyone's kind of in there. But listen, if you've got Burnley and Wolves back to back, you've got to own those players. I'm pretty sure Palace do. We'll check. Yeah, Burnley and Wolves, they've got 26 and 27. So I wasn't looking at Sarr before now, but I'm looking at Sarr now, Kieran. I was looking at him
before. I think he's a better option than Elliot Anderson. But I was looking at him before, and I don't have a route towards him because there's other players I like. But I think Sarr's a good option. Fizzy Water got DEFCON in 25 minutes today.
Yeah, I've seen that, yeah.
And he got bonus as well. So I think he got max bonus, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't think they're going to keep many clean sheets, though, Palace. They are solid, but
I think people are going to go towards Munoz. But Munoz doesn't feel quite right at the moment. He doesn't seem to be bombing forward in the same way he did towards the start of the season. So it'll be interesting to see how that develops over the coming weeks.
Yeah. Elsewhere, Everton, Fulham. Yeah, I mean, that was... Everton have got a nat. I mean, they're playing better away from home. They are at home, which is a bit strange. I know they're in a stadium. It's taken a while to get used to that. But, yeah, I mean, hey, Dewsbury Hall, mate. I've been looking on a wild card and then a bench boost.
You got that score right, didn't you?
I did, mate. I did.
I've done you a service. We need to add another 10 points onto your score on the next slide.
That's all right. Yeah, so, they just managed to eke it out. At Fulham, they always concede, mate. They're a bit like Brighton. They always concede. That's why I'll never own Anderson, because they always concede. There's like no chance. Well, not no chance. But
going back to the Burnley West Ham game.
Yeah.
If you didn't watch it, that scoreline is not a fair scoreline. West Ham scored 2 goals and did nothing. Burnley had 18 shots in that game. 18 shots. So I wouldn't be writing them off. I think when they play against teams that they fancy themselves against, I think they will have a decent chance in the next fixture against Palace. So we'll find out on that. But yeah, Wolves, Chelsea. Again, this is a game where 2 daft defensive errors completely changed the shape of that game.
Yeah.
So Chelsea were always going to win it. But 2 penalties due to needless fouls.
I mean, this is what I'm talking about, attacking them. You know, Wolves and Burnley, especially more Wolves. And I've seen Juan Duran, he's gone. And so is Agbadu. So they're already talking, you know, that's life in the Championship already. they've got players who are just giving penalties away. We have to aggressively. I'd say more Wolves as well. I've got to have 2 players minimum against them every single week. I need to try and figure that out and factor in. But if you've got Cole Palmer, I will give a shout out to Trigger Lips, Kieran, because he brought in Sarr and Palmer. So he absolutely smashed it this week. Like I said, a few people in my mini league captained Palmer, so in Dreamland. Very unlucky if you had Enzo. Very unlucky. Didn't get anything. Which
You know who else brought in Palmer this week? FPL Fran.
Nice.
Fran actually loved me in the content creator league when I was monitoring it because he has Szoboszlai as well and Haaland. And then that red card for Dominic sent him back below me, thankfully. So we've got Let's Talk Andy smashing it at the moment. I think he's about 3 or 4 points ahead of me. He's look, the cream always rises to the top.
You need to get him. You need to get him back. But yeah, the Chelsea game was mad. Badi Ashil, mate. Every time Badi Ashil plays, they will concede. That is a fact. Do you know what I mean? It's like death and taxes, mate.
I want to address this just really quickly, Shane.
Yeah.
Sarr is likely to blank in 31, but not definitely, because if both are out of Europe, it does seem like a good opportunity to move that fixture later on in game week 31. And City play the winner of Benfica v Real Madrid. Probably going to be Real Madrid. And we'll see. I think that's a 50-50 as to who comes to that. And Palace, again, we'll see how they do in Europe. It's all going to be about their draw as well. So highly likely, not definitely. So I put an asterisk against that. Not saying bring him in, but yeah, I think we are still talking 5 weeks away. So I'm still not a stage where I avoid someone in game 20 because they might in game week 31. In the same way people are bringing in Arsenal players for the double game week who definitely blank in game week 31. So yeah, just wanted to address that quickly. Yeah, I agree with you, Joseph. He probably will, but we might be kicking ourselves if we don't bring him in for these next 2 fixtures and then they do play in game week 31.
Yeah, and even if not, we could dead end to 31, maybe free hit or wildcard, whatever we're going to do. But I don't think I can. I'm not overly keen on Sarr, but when you got Burnley and Wolves back to back, and both at home, by the way, I don't think I can ignore those 2 fixtures in a row. Kieran, you've put that on the screen, and I would love to know that. Surely that's going to change, right?
No.
Well, how is he getting 2 then?
Well, he's on for 3.
But he's well, for 1, he's been sent off, and for 2, I mean, I watched the game. Okay, he scored a free kick, brilliant. But I don't, Haaland got a goal and assist for 1. Obviously, he's on match.
Yeah, he was Liverpool's best player by a distance today. Like, he was fantastic at right back. Like, he had probably his best game at right back today. He comfortably got to DEFCON. And you've got to think as well, the way you reward midfielders is for picking up loose balls, for passing. And his passing was very, very, very strong throughout the game today. And then he scored. The issue is when you look at other players, Haaland missed a big chance. That 1-on-1 early on in the game. Semenyo missed a couple of big chances and hit lots of shots off target. There were lots of off target shots. So it was more a case that other players didn't do enough to be close enough that when Szoboszlai lost the BPSs that he did for a red card, it wasn't enough in comparison. You can also look at someone like Bernardo. Bernardo was pretty close, but Bernardo Silva made like 74 fouls throughout the game, and you lose BPS every foul you commit. So it's those kind of things.
Yeah, it's a bit. He did get sent off. No, I know what you mean, and he did get sent off the last kick of the ball. So it's not as if he got sent off, on 65th minute or something. He still played kind of every single minute.
Maybe someone else should have been sent off in that that play. I know that when it goes to VAR can't give a yellow card. Well, VAR can't give a yellow card, but according to IFAB rules, if a foul is committed after a foul, it is treated as a separate incident. For example, pulling a player back is still a caution. It is still, by the rules of the International Football Association Board, it is still a football offence.
Well, it was different.
I would argue if Haaland doesn't drag Szoboszlai back there, and the ball still goes in, then it's a goal and still a red card. Because you still go back and be like, that's a red card offence. The reason, and I could be completely mistaken here, but the reason why, and they show the clip first of the foul to the referee, the foul by Haaland on Dominic. That's the first image they show him. Then they go back and show the other one. So they are saying the player was unable to clear the ball due to this foul committed. So therefore, he has prevented a player from clearing the ball and therefore prevented helped the goal to be scored. However, prior to that, this player denied him from getting towards that ball. So in theory, it is a yellow card for Haaland. But when you go to VAR, the referee, VAR can't give a yellow card. The question then becomes, can a referee realise his mistake and still give a booking to a player? And I think they can.
I'll tell you what, we'll leave it for Richard's vision, but there's quite a few reasons of why he didn't get a card and why the goal didn't stand and he didn't get a red. But we will come to that. So keep your views, everybody in the chat, for if you're for VR, against VR, if you think that Haaland should have went, if you think Szoboszlai should have stayed on. I want to cast your eye down to the third last game, Kieran. And it's a game that on Friday's show on the fixture ticker, I spoke about in length. And I backed Brentford to win. Bruno G, I did count on not playing. However, he still played and they still got beat. It was a cracking game. Newcastle, by the way, and I did say at the time, there were some people benching Thiago or changing Thiago. I did try and warn people, don't bench him. And he ended up scoring. Brentford ended up winning. Will you on record, Kieran? Will you? It doesn't matter. It doesn't. It's Palmer scored bloody 2 penalties. Will you on record now say that Keith Andrews is a good manager?
No. What I will say is what was instilled by Ted Knutson all those years ago when he went over to Brentford and coached with them and changed the way football was played by getting players to take shots from better positions, therefore making a pass. That whole behaviour, that whole work ethic, that whole approach is something instilled across the entire club. That is not necessarily down to the caretaker, manager, gardener type of person, although that person also has that embedded into them because he's come up through that with Brentford. So what I will say is the system and the style of play, I got wrong in terms of how powerful that was and how influential it would be this season. I do not think he is a good football manager, though. I think if he went to any other club, he would struggle significantly.
Just like Thomas Frank. Thomas Frank. I mean,
yeah,
he is a contention, right? I know people are talking about, obviously, if Arsenal win the league, yeah, okay, he's done well. He needs to be up there in conversation about manager of the year. They lost their captain. They lost 2 top goal scorers. They lost a defender, and he still managed to turn it around. Like he's playing fantastic. They're not far away from Europe. Yeah, if Liverpool had lost by 3-1 today, Brentford would have been above them today. And after 25 game weeks, that is an achievement. But like I was saying, do tune in on Friday.
There's only one manager of the season. Courageous Lebreeze. Yeah. Lebreeze is incredible.
He is doing well. Yeah, he is. But listen, that's what I'm saying on Friday. Tune in because there's a lot of value. Elsewhere, Brighton. Yeah, Jackie, thank you very much. I've seen that. Yeah, 1-0 Falkirk. It could be another Fife derby, Kieran. It could be another Falkirk coming to us. So we'll have to watch the draw, mate, and see who we get. Elsewhere, Brighton game. Listen, we kind of spoke about that length. Palace are just always keep it tight. They always keep it tight, always in the game, and you never know. And then, yeah, the last game to round off game week 25 was insane, mate. It was good to close it down. Haaland done nothing, but he managed to get a huge haul. I think that will probably stop the conversation about maybe getting red or keeping for at least the 3-4 games coming up. But elsewhere, listen, it was a good week of football, mate, wasn't it? It was a good week of football, and it was thoroughly enjoyable, mate. Yeah, leave a like and share if you can. It'd be absolutely fantastic. But yeah, that's predictions. We've done okay. We've done not bad. We've got a few predictions in there. As the season's coming to the tail end, it's getting more difficult to predict, isn't it? A few more shocks, mate. A few more shocks. Talking to the score,
Shane, you've got 21 correct results this season. I have 11, and you have 720 points, and I've got 620. So, Shane, if you remove the 20 from each of those, right? If you remove the 20 from each of those.
Oh, 6, 7, 6. Oh, don't. It's so annoying, man. Yeah, it's good. It's good, mate. Right, let's keep it moving.
We're going to jump ahead straight to you, Shane. I'm going to give you the stage, and you'll be happy to know, look, you got that. So I will skip on for you. I did something, even though you're like, can you add something about this? I'm like, no, go piss off. I'm not adding any more stuff. Because you sent me over, like, you're like, I'm going to do the slides. And I went, cool, what do I need to? You went, the scores and your team. I went, no worries. And then he sent me the slide deck, and it was the old slide deck. So, God damn it, Shane. Right, over to you. Veteran.
Yeah, so this week for Veterans Vision, again, if you're new at the show, me and Kieran do little segments. I do my Veterans Vision. He does his Discomfort zone. And this week, I want to talk about, we've kind of covered it a little bit, is VAR. I spoke about it last week, and I'll speak about it again. Do we need VAR? Now, it doesn't matter if it's in England or if it's in Scotland. This week in the Scottish Cup, there was 2 Stonewall penalties that were not given. Celtic got about 58 extra minutes to score a goal until they can go to extra time and then get through, scrape through to maybe play the firm in the next round. But it's the same in England as well. And the game today, listen, like Kieran was saying, you have to look at the IFAB rules, and as a very low level ref, what you think is the game and what you think of the rules are 2 different things. Now, I think everyone can agree the game today, just let the goal stand, and Soboslai doesn't give a red. He played very, very well, and everyone's, I wouldn't say happy, because listen, Liverpool aren't happy to get beat 3-1 at home after leading, but football fans are probably more happy. Now, what is disappointing about this is VAR used correctly can do well. It can do well. However, quite often the people who are using it don't use it correctly. And that's the issue that we're having. Now, when it was brought in, they said they weren't going to re-referee the game. And I'll put it to you, ladies and gentlemen, that today the game was re-refereed. Now, it didn't matter because it was at the tail end and it was 3-1. However, if that was a goal the other way in 2-2, it would have been re-refereed, and the game and the ending and the result would have changed because they looked at VAR and it was altered. Now, for me, we'll bring Kieran in here in a minute. I'd love to know if you're watching now, you're watching back, let me know in the comments and tell me what you think. By the rules, by the IFAB rules, the referee is correct in bringing it back. And that's unfortunate because they've scored anyway, and you think, right, just let them score the goal. However, the initial action, it needs to come back to. All right, and that's why maybe Haaland doesn't get stopped for his foul, because Dominic Szoboszlai has already made that initial foul. Now, the reason why the goal isn't given and you don't get a red card is because it's double jeopardy, and they essentially took that away. So if it's a dogso, last person basically on the keeper, you won't get a red card if it's a goal as well. Okay, so that's why they changed it. They gave a penalty, which essentially is a chance to score, obviously, and the red. However, they should have just let it lie. Again, VR's changing stuff. I think we should strip it away, strip it back, get rid of it, and just have offside. I really do. I think it'd be just the same. I'd like the referee to make more decisions. And before, again, Kieran, I'll bring you back in just now, mate. Referees now, for me, they bottle decisions because they know VAR will tell them essentially the correct answer. E.g., go to the screen, it means that you've missed something. Have some minerals, make a decision, and stick by it.
Well, we've seen that, right? We've seen a referee do that correctly, last week, in my opinion, and got demoted.
It was the wrong decision. I like how he stuck by it, but it was the wrong decision that he made, unfortunately. But I like his, he's sticking by what he said.
I don't think it was, and I think
it was.
What it's done is it's taken away the debate on decisions and made it like VAR. And that's my issue with it. I think the biggest issue stems on the fact that England has one of the worst cohort of referees in football today compared to when they ever have. Back in the day, we're old, but referees used to be a lot better. Right now, the quality of English referee is low. And you can see it, right? Because Sky Sports have a show with Ref Watch, right? And he's atrocious in some of his opinions on that. They're not consistent whatsoever. One week you'll hear him say one thing, the next week you'll hear him say something else. Basically, he supports the VAR rather than anything else. We also see it with, during Soccer Saturday, that they have there often gets it wrong when he's watching stuff. And I think that's the problem, that we have the referees that are now in charge of VAR are referees that weren't that good when they were referees as well. And like you said, if a referee reffing the match sees something, makes a decision, and is told to go to the monitor, they know that if they go against the VAR decision, they will be demoted. Because that's what happens. And that is the terrible precedent that's been set now.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's cover, isn't it? Quite often, I think it was twice or 3 times this season, a referee's been sent to the screen and they've changed the decision. Or stuck with their initial decision. So we're re-refereeing the game. And it was meant to be brought in for just clear and obvious. And that's just diminished. And quite often you'll see, like you say, inconsistency. 1 week, someone will grab someone by the arm, haul them down, and it wouldn't even get checked. So, and this is the thing, unless we can even now.
But the reason why the one today was pulled back isn't because of the foul by Szoboszlai. It's because of the foul by Haaland. That is the reason it's pulled back, because if Szoboszlai doesn't get pulled back there and doesn't clear the ball, then it's still a red card because of the offence. However, it's the foul by Haaland that then causes all of that to happen. And I think the referee would have been able to stick with his on-field decision of goal if Haaland hadn't committed the foul he did. And I think that's where the issue lies. Like, this was such a unique situation. There was no need for Haaland to drag him back after he'd been dragged back. None whatsoever. Because Haaland will know that's going to go to VAR. And if somehow Dominic gets back and clears that off the line, Haaland knows that's going to go back to VAR and be given as a red card. He knows it is. So there was no need whatsoever for Haaland to do that drag back.
What I will say is that, you know how you say you pull back and you get a second yellow, that foul's not a yellow card. It's not okay, but no, it's not a yellow card. No,
of course, if you drag someone who's trying to clear the ball off the line, of course that's a yellow card. Regardless of anything, if Szoboszlai doesn't foul him, let's say Szoboszlai doesn't do this one on the left, that one on the right is a yellow card. All just a yellow card. Dragging a defender back when he's running to clear the ball off the line is a yellow card. That's not even up for debate. That part's not up for debate. I agree with people saying you then can't go back and give a yellow card for that because VAR doesn't allow you to give a yellow card. But even on that, there is a loophole in that as well. And the loophole where a referee can give a yellow card after VAR is for simulation. If a player dives in the box and he gives a penalty and then goes to VAR and it's not a penalty, he is permitted to book the player for diving. But theoretically...
I mean, there's so much stuff in there that you've got to take it. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I mean, again, it comes down to the referee at the time, but I mean, they were always going to pull it back. It was always going to pull it back, and something like that actually. Where
Haaland doesn't pull him back. If Haaland doesn't pull him back, they're not going back. We'll never know.
Correct. It'll just go down as a goal, and then he probably won't get sent off because it's double jeopardy. The goal's gone in. So Haaland got him sent off, is what you're saying. Like Foxy says, he says,
I'm glad that Dominic did it because I would have been punished even more by transferring Haaland out because Haaland would have stolen that goal all day long.
Yeah, he would. And Foxy says, how can they call 6 of one, half a dozen another? Yeah, play the advantage. Yeah, quite often, again, it's just that consistency. That's the thing. But
it's just a mess. It's Haaland who does it. Like, it's Haaland's foul, which is a yellow card. But because the referee doesn't give a yellow card on the pitch, what the ref should have done there is the ref, in theory, to your point, give a goal and book them both. And that would have still been 2 red cards.
Yeah, that is quite a difficult one to be fair.
But let's remember, Martinelli got sent off for 2 yellow cards, right? In the same action of play before. And they were both bookable offences. He played advantage from Martinelli trying to block a throw-in. And then Martinelli commits a foul and the ref goes, yellow card for blocking the throw-in, yellow card for the foul. They are both fouls. They are both bookable offences. You can do that.
Yeah. Don't be sore because you're not got them. Anyway, right, let's move on. VAR is rubbish anyway.
The yellow card's a yellow card. That's all my point is. Like, the goal should have just
I know what
stood.
you mean, yeah. No, I agree.
And that's the point. And like, we do know that a pullback of a player is a yellow card. It might not always be given, but it is a yellow card.
Not that Kieran's sore about it, but you know. Right, let's go.
What do I have? My one's
you kind of had a woman.
One quick, and actually, I can come to this one from Shane because I'm not necessarily going to answer it here. But it's the thing that I think I've said it every season, Shane, and I just want to bring it up because we've got 95 people watching us right now. And
legend.
We get 4 chips in FPL. Triple captain, bench boost, free hit, wild card. Triple captain gives you extra points on your captain. So 1 set of extra points on 1 player. Bench boost gives you 4 extra players for that week. Free hit gives you the ability to change your entire 11, and wildcard resets your team. Therefore, the weakest of all these chips is a triple captain. It is the least influential one out of all of the chips, because if you're going to captain a player anyway, you're just getting 1 set of extra points on that. So, like this week, if some people captain Palmer or triple captained him, it's only a 20-point difference, right? And that's the key thing here, where I think sometimes we overthink the triple captain chip and we look at different opportunities to play it. Last season, when we only had 1 set of chips, used triple captain against Fulham. I think it was against Fulham. No, I can't remember where it was. I used it in a single game week for Haaland, and it returned better than most double game week triple captains. And I think that's the key thing here, where yes, it's favourable to play it in a double game week this season. Yes, it makes a lot of sense to use it on an Arsenal player. And if you've got the right Arsenal player and you fancy doing it and you're going to captain them anyway, I'm 100% behind it. But this is just more of that annual reminder that it is the least valuable chip out of all of the chips. So if it doesn't work out to your favour, you have triple captained the most captained player that week, you don't lose much at all. So my advice to people is, if you want to play your triple captain chip, do it. It is that simple. It's the one chip not to overthink. Now, similarly, we can come onto a story about bench boost and how we quite often use too many transfers to set up a bench boost, and then a lot stuck with like value in our team, and therefore bench boost is probably the most prohibitive chip in terms of the damage it can do to your team either side of the game week and the number of transfers you use up to use it. But it still remains that triple captain is the least valuable chip. So if you fancy playing it this week, or 31, or 33, or 36, do it. However, you want to be using your bench boost probably more so in the bigger double game weeks. That's it, really, mate. It's just a case of triple captain, least valuable chip. Use it if you want to use it. Right. We'll skip on though, Shane. We've got predictions to do this week to keep running through this. We'll kick off with you. And do you know why it doesn't matter who we kick off with this week? Because the last 2 games are both Arsenal. So one of us will be predicting Arsenal first and the other will be predicting Arsenal first for the other.
Okay. Yeah.
So you might as well kick off with Chelsea versus Leeds.
Chelsea Leeds. Stinks of a Cole Palmer double, I think. It's a way. It's a midweek. That's why we're doing a stream on Sunday, which is good. I love football during the week. It's a shame that then there's no football at the weekend. Chelsea look strong at home. Leeds are a little bit like Sunderland. Very, very good or decent at home, and fairly poor and don't really score much away. Now, Chelsea Leeds, very, very, important game. A big rivalry there. I remember, like, in the early 2000s, I used to watch it, like Viduka and stuff like that. And it was a good game. Do I think Chelsea conceded this? I don't. I think they'll be up for it. I think they score quite a few again. I think Leeds are a little bit shot shy, a little bit toothless. I think they score. Oh, I've got Chalobah, so it's making me think that they do score. Do you want? No, I think he's sorted out by now, Rosinha. I think he's getting to grips with who he can trust, who he can't trust in that Chelsea lineup. Get Barry Shield as far away from that squad as you can. I'm going to go Chelsea 3-0. Easy 3-0, mate.
Cool.
What's your
I've
thoughts,
also
mate?
got Chelsea to score 3, but I fancy Leeds to get a goal in this game, at least a goal.
Yeah.
So I'll go with a 3-1 to them.
Nice. Nah, yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, I've backed it. I mean, he's got to get one soon, Chalobah. Right on you, Everton, Bournemouth.
Everton, Bournemouth. I see another clean sheet wipeout for my double Everton defence. I think Ryan's looking decent. Ryan's looking okay. And
Yes.
Bournemouth is still looking decent. I think this is a score draw. I think I'm going to go with a 1-1 this game.
I know. Yeah, Everton at home. Well, they are putting together some decent. I mean, listen, beating Brighton. I know they didn't play that well, but beating them 2-1 away. Bournemouth, yeah, Ryan, he has looked good. But did you see the defending, by the way? Did you see the defending or lack of the? He literally just let him run past, like literally. So, yeah, I think that the goals for Bournemouth are going to dry up a little bit. They'll still score, especially at home, but away, I think they are going to dry up slightly. Listen, Krupi, I know he's a good player, but the lad's 19. So it's a lot to rely on the team. They're quite a young team now. I'm going to go. I think this is an Everton special. And you've got a double Everton defence. I think that's good for this weekend, especially Pickford. I think it's a standard Davy Moyes win. Do I go 1-0 or 2-0? I'm going to go 2-0. I'm going to go 2-0 Everton, mate.
Cool. Over to you for Spurs, Newcastle.
Spurs, Newcastle. Oh, this is a difficult one. I mean, like I say, predicted Brentford beat Newcastle at home, even with Bruno G. So that is a bit worrying. They've been conceding goals like it's going out of fashion. Spurs, so have they a little bit, but he is. I know it doesn't look like it, but he is getting to grip. Before that sending off Romero at the weekend, they actually looked decent, Kieran, I thought. At least they were in the game, at least. And yeah, I do think they score. I think it's got a draw written all over it. I'm going to go 1-1, mate. 1-1.
Nice.
I think a tight game. Yeah, he needs to start.
I fancy Newcastle to win it. I think Spurs are so bad at home, and Newcastle are going to be fuming at losing to Brentford, that I can see a reaction from Newcastle, that I'm going to go with a 2-1 to Newcastle. Next up, we have the Ham versus the United. And West Ham have been decent recently. I'm going for a Desi. Going for a Desi, Shane.
A Desi to stop the Strand getting his hair cut. You monster.
I just think, like, in the same way that the Fulham game was one of the harder games in a way for Carrick and managing United, because when you're playing Arsenal, City, Spurs, it's a little bit easier to get the players up for it. Fulham was a tough game for them. They almost drew that one, and it took a last-minute winner. And I think we could see something similar here. I'm going to go for a 2-2.
Sorry if some people are thinking I look distracted. I'm just getting the fifth round Scottish Cup drawn, so I can do it. We can do it live, and we'll see who we get. Could get some big ones. Yeah, I think. Do you know what? I think it's about time he got his hair cut. I'm going with the Man United when you got Bruno on your side. Listen, like you're saying, Burnley had a lot of shots, and they should have done better with that against West Ham. They still grinded out a win. West Ham, they'll be fine. They'll be close to relegation zone, but I don't think they'll get relegated. I think they've got enough. Tate up top, looks half decent. You got Bowen, Fernandez in the middle. Funnily enough, they didn't play Kilman; they played Disasi. So if he can get a little bit of form in there, I think West Ham will be fine. In terms of this, listen, I've not looked at the history yet, but it's probably, I'm thinking like a 2-1, 2-0. I'm going to go. I'm actually going to go 3-0 United, mate. I think it'll be a bit of a peppering. West Ham still aren't that good. There's still a bit of pressure on them at home. They're still kind of gelling a little bit. There's quite a few new players in there. I'm going to go 3-0. I think they'll just have too much, mate. I really, really do. 3-0, mate, which might surprise a few.
You're writing down your own scores here as well, Shane, right?
Yeah.
Or are you going to watch it back and write them down? Cool. It's over to you then for Villa Brighton.
Brighton. It did have a 2-1 written all over it. Brighton, there's a little bit of disturbance in the ranks. There's a few Brighton fans tonight weren't happy with Hurtzler. Seems to make a lot of subs. When he does, he makes them too late. It doesn't affect change. He keeps changing his lineup. He's becoming the Tinker Man. Sorry, Falkirk have just been drawn out. Oh, it was not Falkirk. So I think it'll be a tough game. I actually think though. I think Villa kind of dominate this. Back to the winning ways. I think Villa score. I'm going to go for 3. I think Watkins gets back in. I think Abraham gets in the score sheet. Do I go 3-0 or 3-1? I'm going to go 3-1 Villa, mate. 3-1 Villa.
I've gone for the exact same score, Shane. So
oh my God.
Say much about it.
This is live. Rangers and Celtic have just been drawn together in the 5th round of the Scottish Cup. Wow. Wowzer. Anyway, continue, Kieran. That's big. That is big. Here we go. Dunfermline drawn out. Here we go, Kieran. This is live. This is what the people want to see. Dunfermline versus Aberdeen or Motherwell. We'll take that. I mean, I would have preferred a Celtic, but yeah, I'll take Aberdeen or Motherwell. Anyway, okay. Go on. Villa, Brighton. Sorry.
Yeah, I've got the same score as you, so not much to be said there. I've also gone for a 3-1. So we can move on to the next game is Palace v Burnley. And look, I do expect Palace to win here, but I think it will be a harder game than most would expect. I can see it being sort of back and forth for most of the game and maybe another Sarr winner towards the end of it if he sees 90. So I'm going to go with a 2-1 Palace for this one. Also, you know how you're making out Rangers and Celtic draw? Neither of them are top of the league, are they?
No, Hearts are still top, but it's just they've been put together in the same round. So, that's for a team like Dunfermline, we've not been to the quarterfinals for 17 years. I'm just going to say this now. I've not been there for 17 years, and I would have loved the fairy tale of Neil Lennon playing Celtic. But it's Rangers Celtic. So
also, I think you're doing yourself a disservice. Isn't this the draw for the 6th round of the Cup?
Quarterfinals. Yeah, it's quarterfinals. But the good thing is we're at home.
But you've already played the 5th round. You won the 5th round.
Yeah, it's a 5th round draw. So yeah. So it's essentially the quarterfinal draw, but they call it the 5th round draw. So it's
what?
It's Scotland, isn't it? Yeah, I know. Yeah, because it's the end of the. It's like done at the end of the 5th round. So after the last game got played, Falkirk, they've drawn it for the quarterfinal.
You guys are really so far behind that you're even a round behind it with draws.
But the good thing is we're at home, so I'll take that. But yeah, I would have loved the fairy tale meeting. But in terms of these scores, Palace, Burnley are going to start going down now. A bit like Wolves, we've got to attack them. I think Palace probably score a few. I'm going to go probably 2 or 3. I'm going to go 2-0. I think Burnley, they'll still be playing a little bit more than Wolves, but I'm going to go 2-0 Palace. Back to me for City, Fulham. I mean, Fulham, even home or away, obviously a little bit tougher at home, but even away, they'll set up well, and City will find it hard to break them down. However, that result tonight will galvanise them. It will galvanise them. They probably score 2 or 3. I think Haaland starts probably playing a little bit better now and get more on the score sheet. I'm going to go 3-1. 3-1. I don't think it keep a clean sheet. I'm going to go 3-1. Comfortable win though.
Cool. I've gone with a 2-0 City win. Hopefully, Marmoush gets to start on and gets a rest. We will have to wait and see. But yeah, I've gone for 2-0 to City, which won't be good for me because I have no City players whatsoever. On to Forest v Wolves. It's almost a garden centre game, right? Almost a garden centre game. I think Forest do turn their defence back on. I think Wolves don't really have any attacking threat now with, well, they do, but they've got Marnie and Arado. Yeah, him.
That guy.
I think it's going to be 1-0 Forest. 1-0 Forest.
Yeah, I'm the same. They didn't look good at the back. Murillo, I don't know if he's injured or isn't injured. I don't know. They're going to have a little bit too much. Morgan Gibbs-White has been playing fairly decent. Maybe should have scored at the weekend. Like I say, Wolves are a team we need to aggressively attack because they've just sold another two of their good players, especially with a few injuries creeping in. I mean, I'd say they're in trouble, but they're done. They're going down. So I'll probably go 2-0. A little bit more than 1-0. They'll control it. Dyche will be fairly defensive, but 2-0 solid win, which they need with West Ham, breathing down the necks. Sunderland, Liverpool. What a game, by the way. Sunderland at home, which does matter. I know Liverpool have had an uptick in form, right? And okay, it was a close game tonight and they got beat, but they still conceded 2 goals tonight. And they're still conceding goals. The defence isn't right. It's not good enough. Kerke's played all right tonight, but defensively, they are not good enough. You could argue that Szoboszlai's probably played the best as his right back in that defence, even Van Dijk. Yeah, it's a tough one. Obviously the biggest battle here is midfield, and they got a little bit overrun. Sunderland did at Arsenal, but they still put out a good performance. Xhaka will still be missing for this, which is big, but I don't see. Listen, Sunderland are unbeaten at home for a reason, and I'll probably stop short of a win for Sunderland. So I'm going to go a draw. I'm going to go Desi. This is the Desi for me, mate. A little 2-2. I think it'll be a great game.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, who were the list? I think PSG, couple of others, and Sunderland are the only teams to have not lost at home in Europe's Big 5 leagues this season. So you've gone with a Desi. I've gone with a 1-1. I'm going to go with a 1-1 in that one. Zeitgeist thinks that this is the first defeat, and it could well be because Liverpool might get a reaction. And Jackie's gone with it the other way, 2-1. Cool. We now have Brentford v Arsenal. And you see, here's the dilemma for me.
Oh, here we go.
I think Brentford will struggle to create chances, but I think it's a kind of game where Arsenal do concede. So I'm going to go, and I think it's going to be a frustrating game for Arsenal as well. I think they go 1-0 up and Brentford get something back, or Brentford go 1-0 up. And I think it's going to be like a last-minute goal by Arsenal, cueing us celebrating like we won the league, and therefore me with egg on my face after criticising Man City this week. But I'm going to go with the 2-1 Arsenal.
Yeah, listen, I think Timber's coming in because of the way my team's formed anyway. I don't really want to move too many forwards around. So I think Timber's coming in. Yeah, and even though, listen, Arsenal, the defence is more than elite. It's unreal. I do think they will concede. I mean, 2-0 is probably the safest bet, but that defence is good, but they're playing so many games. Like, to not concede for the amount of games they're not conceded for, you're in form with the Chelsea team one season that only conceded, it's like 14 goals. It was unbelievable. I do think Brentford do score. It could be like a dubious penalty, something like that, or a little thunderbolt maybe from Utara. But yeah, I think they do. But Arsenal, listen, they've just got the mindset is too strong, mate. I agree with you, and I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal, mate. I think they just edge it out 2-1, so it's the same there. And then lastly, that is the last one, isn't it? But obviously, there's a double game week.
Yes, there's the last one. It's Wolves v Arsenal now.
5-0 Wolves next. Do you know what? It's probably not far off. Do you know what? I'm going to go with it. 5-0 Arsenal. Bam, done, easy.
You just said 5-0 Wolves to start with. You realise that, right?
Yeah, I mean that's crazy talk right there. Yeah, I'll go. Do you know what? I'm going to go 5-0. I really am. Yep, 5-0.
I don't see that many. I'll go 3-0 Arsenal. I think 3's sufficient. All right, look, Shane, let's jump onto it. What's your team looking like for this week?
It's looking okay, mate. It's looking okay. Listen, obviously that first thing you're looking at is Van de Ven in there. He's coming out, and he's going to change to Timber. I've got enough money in there. The double Brentford back line isn't the best at the best of times. So yeah, Keller will probably change with Petrovic. However, I might take a wee hit for a keeper. I'm at the stage now where the Petrovic Kelleher double up has been fantastic. It's been great. I mean, last week they both got 10 points, or the week before, sorry, 24. They both got 10 points. I probably want to keep Kelleher, but moving forward, Petrovic, he's not for me. They just concede too many goals. So I'm likely to maybe take a -4, or I might just, Everton. I might just take a roll. We might get some save points, that kind of thing, and then the week after change. Because wildcard might be coming up or free hit. So I might just let it get on. Then obviously got Gabriel. I'll have Timber for the double game week. Chalobah's not going anywhere. Leeds at home. I'd say should keep a clean sheet, but he's not been doing well. Then across the middle, mate, Rice, he's staying. Hopefully he gets return. He was unlucky this weekend not to, and I feel like he's getting a return soon, coming up a 10-pointer. He could be on the chopping block soon, though, because I want to go more attacking. Do you know what I mean? Like you're saying with Elliot Anderson, I want to keep one of them, but to have two DEFCON midfielders at this stage of the game in the season where I'm going for the highest rank, one of them will have to come out. I think it'll probably be Rice, just down to pure price. Then Fernandez with the captaincy, I think I'm maybe going to keep it on, might change. I've got a few options up top. Then Rodgers, he's going nowhere. He could do really well again. Semenyo, again. Haaland for the City double up against Fulham, I think hopefully do well. And then Yel Pedro at home to Leeds. The bench isn't much to write home about. Krupi Jr. could have bring him on, yeah, maybe, but I think it'll be a close game. And he's not really got the high ceiling. He's got like a 7-8 point ceiling. So I want more than that, mate. And that's kind of where I'm at, really, on that. Captaincy, okay, you could say Haaland. I think, listen, Fernandez just involved too much, mate. He's just involved too much. And he's not even had a penalty for a while. So bang a penalty in there, which against West Ham, they could get.
You're captaining a single game week player over a double game week player.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Rice, I don't want to captain Rice. I know a lot of people are captaining Gabriel. The one thing I will say on that, I'm at a bit kind of 50-50 or 60-40 between Fernandez and then Gabriel. Because obviously people are talking about triple captaining. We don't have many double game weeks left. So this might be the time to use triple captain on Gabriel, Kieran. Just down to we don't have many free game weeks left that are going to double. What do you think, mate? Are you going to use a chip in this one? I feel like there needs to be a chip used, to be fair. And triple captain's probably the best one. He's got his mic off. He's just back down. He's got his mic off.
Well, I was going to say, we'll come on to my team instead. I've already got a triple captain, and I've already made a transfer, and my triple captain's clicked at the moment. So my team is looking like Pickford in goal, Gabriel, triple captain on there at the moment, Chalobah and Tarko, and then we've taken Enzo out. We've used that Haaland money.
He's gone for it.
2 week punt. He's there for 2 weeks. Room for Haaland back after 2 weeks by moving over to Assar, a Rayan, someone like that. Rodgers sticking around, happy with him. Rice is in the team. We've got Wirtz against Sunderland, which I like, even though I've said 1-1. Bruno, of course, Ekatike, and then Kai to repay the faith. Bench is shocking. We still have John, we still have Dorgu, we still have Obi, so we only really have Van de Ven as our backup if someone doesn't start. But yeah, look, like I was saying in the discomfort zone, if you feel like doing it, just do it. At the moment, I feel like doing it, so it's highly likely I'll do it. And I think the advantage that lies is not against the engaged community, but against the majority of people. So, for example, in my work money league and a few other leagues, I do expect. Sorry, my work league, there is literally no money actually on the work league, and a few of my other leagues, I think they're not going to be using the triple captain.
Yeah.
So I'm more than happy to use Gabriel, and part of the reason why is we know he's fit, we know he'll play both. The opportunities later on in the season, let's say game week 36, where City might have Burnley and Everton, it's a might have, and could also be in a situation where City are in the semi-finals of the Champions League. City may have already lost the Premier League by then. We don't know. Haaland may or may not be fit. We don't know those things. So for me, it's a case of, I know right now Gabriel's playing. I know right now Arsenal have a decent defence.
Yeah.
May as well use it. Small temptation to use it on Havertz, but that just seems daft. So yeah, going to stick with Gabriel, and owning Havertz feels more than enough this week because he's at like 0.01% ownership.
I like it, mate.
Than that, just to be clear. But like when I look at the top 1,000, the top 10,000, he's literally sitting around like 0.13 or 0.31 in terms of ownership. So owning him is more than enough.
I like it, mate. I think you're on for, touch wood, I think you're on for a great week, mate. That Everton double defence looks good to me. The midfield that's a midfield that, before the game week starts, you're like, I'm in for a good week here. And up top as well, I like Havertz. I think he's always involved. Even if he comes off the bench, I don't think it really matters. I think, he always seems to get a goal or an assist or even both. So I like it, mate. Yeah, I want to use, if there wasn't like a blank in 31, I could have maybe used my wildcard last week and then bench boosted this week, because I don't like using the bench boost too late. Like you're saying, people are still in Europe, or they got cup finals, or they start, blooding their the younger players, or people who you wouldn't really. So yeah, I want to use it sooner rather than later. But man, I like it. I'm a bit jealous of your Palmer as well. Did you feel a bit hurt in changing Enzo to Palmer and just sideways move? Because sideways moves, they're always hard to do, aren't they?
There's nothing sideways about Enzo to Palmer.
No?
Nothing sideways. Like, if I said to you, Chelsea
now he's fit now,
like if I say Chelsea win 3-0, who gets the goals? You say Palmer. Like, the only concern was when Chelsea got 2 penalties.
Yeah, that's the thing. 2 pens, man.
Right, but they win penalties, right? And to me, those 2 pens were even more of a reason to make the move. And by that, I mean, quite often we see if a team gets 2 penalties in a game and they have 2 good penalty takers, they let the second penalty taker take the other penalty. And we know Enzo was taking penalties when Palmer wasn't fit. The fact Palmer took both just gives me confidence that Palmer takes pens no matter what. And yeah, it's way higher upside. It's 2 weeks. It was either roll or do that move. And Leeds and Burnley at home, I'd much rather have Cole Palmer than Enzo Fernandez. And it is that simple. The only thing it does is means I can't panic and bring Haaland back for the Newcastle game, and Newcastle are playing City either side of travelling away to Karabag, which is kind of a challenge because that's a long way to go. And Newcastle were shocking off the Champions League games. But I'd still back Palmer against Burnley at home over Haaland against Newcastle. Only slightly, because you get more points for a midfielder scoring. And that's what it came down to. Palmer getting a 60 sub as well helped because they'd already won the game. So him getting that rest. So yeah, I like it.
It looks good. It looks solid. Like you're saying, it's good that you got that wee differential Havertz in there. I think most people will probably have, obviously, Gabriel, Timber and Rice. So secretly, I was going to say secretly hoping to concede a goal in one, but not really because you're triple captain in Gabriel. But, as long as Havertz gets something.
But I think we concede in one, right? And if Gabriel gets a 4-point and a 10-point, I'm still happy.
Yeah. Yeah. And listen, he's due a goal, I think, especially against Wolves. He's not scored for a wee while, so it's likely. Timber still looks very, very good going forward, but, especially in the corners, Gabriel will be up there. Mate, I like it, mate. I like it. You're on the road. You're on the road to winning FPL. You're on the road to win.
We're into the final 5 minutes, Shane, or the last 5 minutes I've got. So I'm going to rattle through to the viewers. I've started as we go. Eddie 79 points. He's 4 free transfers, 0.2 to spend. He has 3 Arsenal for the double already. Who to go in goal, Roofs or Dubravka? So we've got Sunderland at home, Liverpool, or Dubravka away to Who are they playing away? I've missed it now. We had it up. Sorry, I know
that they're playing Palace, aren't they? Yeah,
playing Palace.
Palace.
I think both concede.
Yeah, I would be.
The difference is Roos probably makes more saves.
Well, I mean, they're at home though as well. Do you know what I mean? Let's have a wee look and see how many.
They are playing a harder team.
Yeah, but they've got 2. Well, the next 2 are home. Okay, yeah, they've got Liverpool. That's difficult. But would you be surprised if it was 1-0 Sunderland? I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. I know Liverpool are very good going forward, but Roof, he's a better keeper. He'll get more save points. I would even if you've got Dubravka on your bench, if you've got loads of transfers, I'd get him out, because even as a backup, you're going to take a 1-pointer from now on. I really think so. What's next?
Shane's asking, triple captain. I have, and you're considering it, so I think that kind of answers it without us.
I probably will. Yeah, I probably will. Yeah.
Up next, we have Eddie. Same question, so we'll ignore that. Andrew, do you think Brentford will score against Arsenal? If so, would Rice be the correct gamble? I've already said yes, I think they will. You said yes as well.
Yeah.
I think Rice is possibly too much of a gamble, though, because you are relying on a set piece, and you've got to think, if Rice gets an assist from a set piece, it's probably Gabriel who scores it. That would be my only thought behind it. I think Rice could score a goal from open play, but I think a lot of people have moved off of Rice that I think his ownership's low enough that you're just going to be happy with his return.
Yeah, definitely.
We already answered that one from Shane. Would you start Bruno G in midweek ahead of Cash? Well, when Bruno G plays, he returns, right? But
unless he's away,
particularly when he plays at home, exactly. And he is away to Spurs, but Dr. Spurs will see you now, right? So it feels like if Bruno's going to get a return against anyone, it's probably away to Spurs.
Yeah. Go on.
The thing is, though, Matty Cash is taking shots for fun. Like, Matty Cash is going to get a haul soon. He's going to get a goal in, like, the next 2 or 3 games. I'd probably go Cash.
I get what you're saying, but Cash is a bit of a troll. He's a bit like Digney, mate, to be fair. Brighton, I could see them scoring. It's Villa. They always score. They tend to concede. I'd go Bruno G, mate. It wouldn't surprise me if Spurs probably give away a penalty or something, and they'll probably leave a lot of space in the 10 row. I think he'll get quite a few shots off, and he's a class player, so I could see him probably the first return in a while away, mate. I'd go Bruno G.
And Ian McDonald added to this as well by going, Spurs are really ropey at home. Newcastle haven't been great away from home. But Newcastle's away games have typically come after cup games, whether it's Champions League or League Cup. So that is something to take into consideration, that it's 2 games in a week, which is still that kind of whole story. Yeah, look, I think it's a 50-50. I'd say by reading your second message here, you prefer Bruno G. And I think it's one of those where it's so close to a 50-50, go with the one that you seem to prefer. So I would stick with that as well. Who's the best captain options this week? Well, look, you're tempted by Bruno. I think if you're looking at single game weekers, it's Bruno or Haaland.
Yeah.
Even Semenyo I'd throw in there. I would say, if you don't follow him already, wait for FPL Meerkat's thread to come out where goals are conceded from, and see if anyone else pops up from there. That might be interesting, because that is pretty reliable and good info that he does every week. I think looking at Arsenal, I think Gabriel is probably the strongest option there and the safest option. That I would say Gabriel. I know people are going to be tempted by Rice. Some are going to even consider Gyökeres.
How about Timber?
Yeah. I don't think Timber starts both games.
See, this is the thing. I've got to bring him in to cover. I agree, mate. With the North London derby coming up, and then obviously, cup final and midweek games. I know you got Wigan. He's not going to play that, but
no. Wigan's going to be. Wigan will be a back 4 of Hincapié, Mosquera, White, and Lewis Skelly, I'd say, for that game.
Yeah, because you got after Wilson.
Spurs.
27, yeah. And what's the rest time in that, though? 6 days?
Oh, plenty We play on Sunday.
Yeah, so he's coming in for me, but
I don't think I think Timber probably does start both, but I don't think he's a captain option because Timber isn't having shots or anything like that these days. I think he's either getting a 6 or he's getting himself booked for a 5.
Yeah.
We'll play Gabriel, Raya, and Richards from Perexel 98. I have Tarkovsky and Dorgu, 2.3 mil in the bank. Thinking about making Dorgu Munoz to go double Palace for Burnley and Wolves. I don't hate it. I just personally prefer Lacroix because I think that you're getting a DEFCON in both those games. But Munoz does have the excitement factor. It's just today worried me when I was watching him. He didn't seem anywhere near as attacking, but he probably will be more and more. I think the interesting thing, and I'll keep saying it, Sarr was playing way further forward than JSL and also almost playing as a striker today.
Yeah, he was.
But yeah, I think Munoz makes a lot of sense. I think there's arguments where if you're looking longer term, Senesi makes a lot of sense. Hill is a decent option at 3.9, but he feels like a Michael Keane in that you'd be nervous about his minutes moving forward. But then Michael Keane played again this week, so not the end of the world. Eddie has 4 free transfers, 0.2 to spend, who to get rid of. And he has Rose and Dubravka, triple Arsenal in Gabriel, Timber, Rice. Again, we already, without knowing the rest of your team, Eddie, and I feel free to
get rid of Dubravka for 1. Yeah, I get rid of Dubravka for 1, 100%.
He's got 0.2 in the bench, so he can't get another goalkeeper for that.
Okay, yeah, it depends. Yeah, you have to see the rest.
I wouldn't get rid of Rose. I don't think that's where you need to make a move. If you want, share on Twitter to either of us your team, and we can kind of have a little chat about that.
Yeah, let us know, mate.
Because we're not going to have to just be very clear, or I won't. Shane might want to stay around for a bit longer, but probably not. We already have this one. Hey lads, wondering if you bring in Raya for Martinez or Gokares for Bowen. Already have Gabriel and Rice. It would be option A for me out of those two. I do like Gokares. I do like Gokares.
I do like Gokares. Like you're saying, Wolves so bad. Like I've said 5-0, so yeah, he's a bit of a differential. It depends on your rank. Depends kind of what you're going for the season. I like the Gokares instead, mate, to be fair. I think there's way more upside. I mean, Rice, what are you getting? 6 points. Okay, that's good. Don't get me wrong.
I'd say the flip is, and I'll take a guess here that that A Game of Time also owns Haaland, at least, right? And with Raya, you can park him on your bench for the blank. With Gokares, you know that he is going to be a transfer out. And again, there's nothing wrong with that, with a transfer out in 2 weeks. Nothing wrong whatsoever. Just be prepared that you're probably going to have to make a transfer out for him. Again, I do support you, though, because you can take him out for a JSL or someone else in that week. This one's an interesting one. Would you triple captain Gabriel or bench boost with Dubravka, Mane, Senesi, and Richards? Look, on one side, I think getting your bench boost out the way rather than using transfers, it depends. If you've still got wildcard, then I'd still be looking at wildcard in 32, bench boost in 33 as probably the strongest strategy there. I don't think Dubravka's great this week. I don't see Wolves scoring many goals this week. So I think Mane, you might be just looking at 4 points there. Senesi, I don't think either of us have them to keep a clean sheet. And I don't think either have Richards to keep a clean sheet. So I'd say 70% triple captain Gabriel, 30% bench boost. I'd say that flips though if you've already used your wild card. And I'd be bench boosting if I'd already used my wild card.
I wouldn't. 100%. I would triple captain Gabriel. I wouldn't bench boost. I would never bench boost with Dubravka, a Burnley keeper or a Wolves keeper right now. Because what you're going to get 1 point. What's the point? You might as well risk it with a better team. Less, all right. Not a big chance of a clean sheet, but if Burnley's going to get battered.
Sarr's 4.2, by the way. If you wanted to move Dubravka to a double Wolves goalkeeper and pick up maybe 4 points in that double,
2 points.
Yeah. It could be as low as 2. It could be 0, right? They could see loads of goals. It's also, someone's put here, it's also a mistake to bench Mane over single game week player. So yeah, it depends who the rest of your bench is for that double game week. And DM McDonald, no worries at all for answering your question. Look, I think, Shane, unless I'm mistaken, that's all the questions. And time for us to... And Forest v Wolves not impossible for a clean I'd also agree on that. That could be a 0-0 game. Could be a goal as well for Mane in that game. So yeah, probably start Mane depending on who your team is. Look, right now we could be at 1,000 subscribers. We could be at 900 and something. The YouTube algorithm keeps giving us subscribers and taking them away because who knows how it operates. But we really appreciate all of the likes and subscribers. If you've not already liked this, then please do. If you're not already subscribed, then get that off of our chat right now. How dare you? No, look. Either way, we don't really care, but we do appreciate it. Like anyone, we like to see numbers going up unless it's our FPL rank. So please do give us a subscribe if you do like it. And a lot of this is based on people sharing it as well, because we're not the most searchable YouTube channel, no matter what we do. So please do share, tell other people about it. We'd love to get to staying above 1,000 subscribers if possible. But that's everything from me, Shane. I'm going to hand it over to you to wish everyone well.
Yeah, that's it. Good luck for next game week. Again, make sure, because it's a midweek, so make sure you put your bus teams in. The content before, Kieran, I'm going to do another show tomorrow. We're just rolling them out, mate. We're going to do a fixture decoder tomorrow, a special one because it's Monday night. And like I'm saying, we predicted Brentford to beat Newcastle and keep Thiago and get rid of your Newcastle defenders. So come over and we'll give you some good advice. Apart from that, mate,
I'm going to do another video that as well. Yeah. Do watch that because that's one of my favourite streams to watch, whether it's on catch up, or whether I've got it on while I'm working from home on the days that Shane typically does it. I've also been invited onto the FPL Addicts tomorrow at 7 o'clock, so I'll be there talking with them, and always good to chat with both of them. Don't know if you watched FPL Juice this week, but Chaz was the final ever FPL Juice guest, and it'll be good to be joining Chaz, and in particular, I always like chatting with Marcello. We do lots of meshing back and forth. FPL Addicts is one of the least, not the least. It's a channel that deserves way more subscribers and viewers. So 7 o'clock tomorrow. Yeah. Even just to hear Marcello and Chaz speak, but great insight from both of them. So give that a watch, and you will see me on there as well from 7 o'clock. But definitely watch Shane's. Hopefully he's not on at 7 o'clock as well, because otherwise I'm putting people away from you.
I'll do it later, because that's the kind of guy I am. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, listen, have a great Monday. Have a fantastic Monday. Look forward to all the football. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I might even do a little watch along, Kieran. That's how I'm rolling this week. But in the meantime, have a great week. And yeah, good luck for the weekend, mate. We'll see you later.
Cheers, everyone. Cue the music. I don't even know if we're going to have music as we exit, but we're going to click a button.
Which we got.
Here we are. That's the best music for us to finish on. There we are. We will do that. Thanks a lot for watching. We will see you again soon.